first step in registering your business name as a trademark is to decide if you have a registrable trademark. There are a number of, what this means is that there are only certain names that can be trademarked. For example, no one is able to trademark the name Australia. You can't claim ownership of something that everybody has the right to use. And in the same way, nobody has the right to trademark a generic term. For example, you could not trademark Australian coach because it's too broad spread. Too many people have the right to use that name. So you've got to narrow it down. You've got to come up with something unique. And if you do want to use generic names like Australia or coach or words that everybody has the right to use, then you have to trademark them only as a very distinctive graphic, and it's the graphic object that you're trademarking. The words and image together as a logo can be trademarked, where the words alone might not be able to. So the first thing is to really get to work with your designer or designing it yourself, but really come up with something that is unique, that nobody else in your industry has the right to use on a daily basis, and that is original to you. The second thing is to look for what goods and services you offer, because a trademark is registered in various classes, and you pay your fee per class that you're registering in. So I'm just going to share my screen for a minute with you. This one here. So this is the trademarks classification search page with IP Australia. If you just do a Google for trademarks classification search IP Australia, you'll find it. So basically, these are your classes of goods. There's everything you can imagine, divided into 45 classes, 34 classes of goods and 11 classes of service. And when you trademark your business name, you are only protected in the classes that you have registered. So you have to look really carefully and decide which classes are appropriate to you. Now, for example, if you are a coach, then you might want to be, you probably aren't going to find the goods very useful to you. You want to go to the services classes. And you might want to do business management. You might want class 35. You might, if you're a financial coach, you might want class 36. You might want education, class 41, providing training. You might want, for example, I would want class 45, legal services. But for example, as a business coach, I would suggest at least 35 and 41 would be your basic services that you would want to cover, at least those ones. But as I said, each of those classes increases the cost. The next thing to do is your due diligence. So that's your searches, and basically making sure that nobody else in Australia, if you're registering in Australia, or in whichever country that you're registering your trademark in, nobody else has that, has already using that word, phrase, graphic image. So you start using Google, you do a Google word search, you do a Google image search, you do Facebook keyword searches. You look for your name and you try and find out whether it is as unique and original as you think it is. Another place you need to search is, I'm just going to share the screen again. Just close that one and go here. Right. This is Atmos, the Australian Trademark Online Search System. So if you just search for Google for Atmos, you'll find it. You put here, you enter as a guest, like that, and you put in your logo. So for example, mine is Business Serenity. So if I put in business and I put in Serenity here and I do a search, that will show me all other businesses that have trademarked the name Business Serenity. And you see, I've done my due diligence. It received 0 matches. Let's try, for example, the word coach and find out what people have trademarked in the word, we'll do business coach. So business Say you were trying to trademark the name business coach. Could you do it? Do the search, wait for it to load. Here we go. So these are all the different people who have the trademark business, have the words business coach in their name. And you can see that they are all graphical representations. So Power Business Coach is this graphical representation. Skynet Business Coaches International, it's a graphical representation. Business Whisperer, Coaching That Works, it's the combination of the graphics and the words that are able to be trademarked. Things like this where you see the Startup Business Coach and you think, how did they manage that? If you look over here, you'll see it's still pending. It's under examination, extension fees not required. If you look over here in this corner, you can see the various classes that they've registered in. This can be useful for checking out what classes you might want. Some of these, 16 I think, is training material. So they are also not just the services, they are trademarking their production of their goods in the intellectual property that they're producing. So that's your searching section. The next thing you do is to apply. So let me just stop sharing my screen here again. So the application process, I'll just bring that up so I can show that to you. The application process is very easy. You can do it yourself, or you can get a lawyer to do it for you. The thing you need to know, so there's online services, it's all done online. The application is all online. I'm just going to drag that over there. Here we go. So, so this is what the online service looks like. You've basically got to log in. I'll just share the screen here to show you what online services looks like. Here we go. This is it. You log in. It's just available, once again, IP Australia. IP Australia has heaps of facts and information. They give you lots of information about how to go through the process, how to log in, how to register, what it costs, all of that stuff. So I'm just going to go here quickly and show you trademark costs, which is what you'll need to know if you're making the application. So as I said, I would always advise using the Head Start application service. So you see there's two marks, there's the standard filing or there's the Head Start application. Go with Head Start. What that means is that the examiner will take a look at it and they will get back to you if there's any problems, and you've got a limited right to sort of do some amendments. It actually costs a tiny bit more overall, but what you save, if there is actually a problem, what you save in being able to amend your application is immense, because if you just use the standard filing fee, you cannot go back and make any changes. It is just, that's it. And if it's refused, you have to go back and start all over again. Whereas here, you can just sort of make minor amendments or pay an extra fee to do major amendments. So the fee is, per request, is $120 per trademark, per class. So for example, if you are doing your business name with its graphical representation in 2 classes, it will cost you $240 to do the basic application. And then when if it makes it through that first stage and it moves into the registration phase, that's an extra $80 per class. So then another $160 on top of that. Once it's you can also, they will also tell you, you've also got the ability to add classes, and all of that costs extra fees. So that's pretty much all of that. I'll just stop sharing the screen again in just a second. So the application process is very simple. What happens is the examiner looks at your application, they check it, they do all their due diligence searches, they make sure that it's something that can be trademarked, that it's unique and original enough. If you've got the Head Start service, they'll come back and ask you questions or give you the opportunity to amend. Then if it's approved, it goes into an objection phase where it's advertised through IP Australia, and anyone who objects to your registration has a period of time in which they can object or say that, no, this is too close to mine, I don't want this to be registered. And if it passes that phase, then you're notified that it's been approved for registration, and you pay your final registration fee, and then you own the trademark. Now, trademarks are not there for a lifetime. You have to renew them. So there's more information about trademark renewals. So trademarks have to be renewed every 10 years. So you got it for 10 years, then in 10 years' time, you have to renew it. And it's a fee, I think, of $300 Australian to renew the trademark. So there is your application process for a trademark in a nutshell. I hope that is helpful.